All right, cool. So this is my Sunday swings forecast. It is currently the 4th of February, Sunday the 4th, and this is going to be my Sunday swings analysis for the week coming, for the first week in February. So I'm going to go through all the pairs, mark out what I see is going to happen, and go through what happened last week and the trades I caught, and the ones I stayed away from. So let's get started. So obviously, I'm actively in CAD Chef. I've been posting about this the whole week in my Telegram group and on Instagram. I really liked how we got a break under this area, and then we're retesting it, so I took it short. Currently in drawdown, this was NFP that brought it back up. I do so overall. Weekly is bearish, daily is bearish, and H4 is bearish. However, I don't like how the daily closed on here, the last on a Friday. That was not very nice. Secondly, we've got daily structure here, so if we do break above my zone, I think we could head to the upside. So we'll see how this trade goes. I mean, I'm still in it. H4 is having a pullback. I like the 1 hour rejection of this area, although we did break these internal highs here. I like how we ended on an engulfing. Hopefully we can keep pushing down, but we'll see how this one goes, we'll see. I mean, all three time frames were in sync, so we followed the plan, and then we expect to hold to here. So just setting and forgetting this one, to be honest. But yeah, no VWAP projection, so there's not much confluence here. Overall, stochastics do show that the momentum is going to pull back in. So obviously we are in an extreme zone. So we would look for them to come back into this zone, curl round like they did here. So that's what I expect for CAD Chef. Moving on to EuroCAD. I also marked this out. I told everybody I was in this. And then I did get out at break even because price did come back. I liked this trade initially because we broke above this area, retested it. You can see here, we were here, broke above, came down, had that nice rejection, came underneath this zone. So when we're underneath, we're selling, came back, retested it, and I was expecting it to go to the downside. It did go to the downside, hit a 1.5 risk reward. However, I also found this zone here, which wasn't very nice. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4 touches approximately, and then more here, so 5, 6, around 6 touches. Obviously, broke through it a few times. So this area is clearly of interest. We've had this candlestick is very nice, showing price wanted to push above. So that's why I didn't like it, because when I saw these daily candlesticks here rejecting, so we had the doji, another doji, and then like another bullish candlestick, I did not like that. But NFP did push this down, so if we were holding, we'd still be in profit. But like I said, this is a CAD trade, and so is CAD Chef. So I'd rather be in one of them. The one I found more confluent was CAD Chef, so then I stayed in that. So yeah, no, we broke here and then came down, so I would expect it to fall, but it depends. We'll see what happens overall. Any VWAP rejection? Nope, so no confluence on that. Any stochastics? Yeah, we do show we're pulling in. Market is literally just open now. So in fact, let's see how this open is. So we have a huge gap. So it's very interesting. Let's check CAD Chef. Hasn't opened yet on the broker, but this has. Interesting. So we'll see how that goes. Moving on. The trade that I see warming up is GBP AUD. So actually we caught a buy this week on this trade. Literally took it from this zone to this zone. However, it hit a 2.5 risk reward, I think. However, we could have held this for 1 to 6, which is crazy. I didn't realize it. I didn't think it would break above, to be honest. I thought we'd have a rejection. Price would come back and mess around here. But we obviously, we have the rejection. Let me see if I can turn off this crosshair so you can see this a bit better. Yeah, maybe that's more clearer for you, so you don't get all the lines. So yeah, we could have held this, but we didn't. So what I expect now is what I've literally marked up here. So price is broken above. I love how this candlestick here broke above this, and is higher then this was at is at the level this one's at. So if we do get a nice entry confirmation rejection at this zone, then we could see this potentially push upwards. So this is something I'm looking out for. That's warming up. Secondly, GBP CAD. I was expecting overall 2 out of 3 up time frames are bullish, so we could push to the upside. But I don't like how it's not the cleanest market structure. I don't like all these wicks. I don't like how there's not a lot of movement here, so I'm not a massive fan of that. It's a bit messy, to be honest. I'd rather take GBP AUD, nice and clean, clean moves. So moving on to the ones that have slight potential, what I could see on AUD Chef. And by the way, go back to last week's Sunday swings where I marked out what I expect to happen, and pretty much 90% of them played out exactly the way I said would. When I mark them with these arrows, I try and put these arrows to make it clear what I expect to happen. I pretty much do this on every pair, on every pair, just to show like what I think is going to happen. So mark, so go back and watch it and then compare, because like 95% of the time it follows structure. Price just follows what I say because I follow structure. So like I said, obviously I'm not going to catch all of these moves because they're lower probability. We want quality over quantity, and I'd rather take all the winning ones than have losing trades. Less is more. So pretty simple on AUD Chef, bearish on most time frames. Expect a break underneath here to sell, and then if I were to sell, I would take an entry around here. Stop would be probably just above these wicks in case price rejects here. So around there, and then we could potentially hold all the way there. Now the reason I say we could get a 1 to 4, and I've marked this line out, is because that line is right here. The lowest point AUD Chef has ever been in February of 2020. So God knows what happened here. But this pair was falling and had a massive wick rejection here. Probably the biggest in its history. 235 pip wick rejection in one day. So imagine price opened up right here, and then the same day moved 235 pips, and closed right there. That's ridiculous. So because there's not a lot of information and data going back this far, this is the next point I have where price could react, unless we see some reaction at the wick here, but it's already broken above at that point. So like I said, this is what I expect for AUD Chef. And then NZD CAD, same thing. Most time frames are bearish. We have VWAP coming down, which is nice. A nice break below here. We've already broken. If we get a retest on the H4, could see something like this. So like I said, and by the way, this list will change throughout the week depending on what happens in the market. Obviously, we're dictated by a current live market. So currently all of these are warming up or have slight potential. I don't really see anything on these pairs, and probably out of these, maybe one, if that, will get moved into the warming up, and then maybe one, if even less, will get traded, hopefully, because like I said, I want less trades, because less is more. I don't want to be taking 6 trades a week, 7 trades a week. That would be my worst nightmare, to be honest with you. If I can get one good trade a week, like I got with GBP AUD, more than enough. If I can get 3-4 trades a month, I'll be so happy. If you hit a 1 to 3 risk reward per week, absolutely chilling, because this strategy is very, it doesn't weigh on your psychology. Different systems have different psychological issues, and with the set and forget strategy, there's not a lot of psychological issues. Once you've got the strategy nailed down, literally you just have to be patient and wait for your setups, and then be disciplined to take them and stay away from the ones that don't look as pretty. And the good thing about this system, whereas to scalping, is that you have time to look at the market. For example, I'm marking my trades up for the week. I'm planning what I could take, whereas if I'm scalping, I don't know what I'm going to take on Thursday, because if I'm on the 5 minute time frame, I'm not thinking about that until the day. So there's less decisions you have to make on the day. And I think, was it the most successful people try and eliminate the, I think the saying goes, the most successful people try and eliminate the least amount of decisions they have to make per day. For example, like Zuckerberg and these guys, they wear the same clothes every day because it's less decisions and therefore they can make more decisions with their work. So, like I said, relating this back to this system, if I can plan what I'm going to see through the week, it gives me more confidence because I've planned this trade. Whereas with scalping, if I say, oh, I've just seen a buy and then I lose, and then the next time I see that, I'll think, well, I acted impulsively, whereas I've planned my whole week out with this. So that's why I love this system overall, to be honest. So yeah, with UJ, same thing. See how we rejected at this zone and then pushed down. I didn't take the buy. I was really hoping that one of these dailies would close above here, but then we just pushed right down, and I thought we would. But I'm still waiting for the break above. I like this bullish engulfing here, so maybe this would probably take 2-3 days if it were to play out. Probably 2 to 3 days, and then AU. I still think, to be honest, although I've marked these arrows out, we could get a play into this zone. We could get a play into this zone, and then probably pushes back up, to be honest. Because I think overall time frames we are bullish. Daily we are actually bearish now. So let's change this. Bearish. And then H4. Clearly we are, so look, this is where people would get confused, and this is sort of where my little experience comes into play. So structure, bearish, broke below the low, came above, lower high, broke a lower low, but then pushed back up, broke this high, so created a new high. So then we were technically bullish, but then boom, broke this low, which created the high. So therefore we are still bearish on the H4. So that's what I expect for AU. I mean, even this consolidation, to be honest, is really not pretty. But like I said, January has been a very slow month for the Dixie, so USD pairs, to be honest. Like USD CAD, Euro USD, it's not been very clean. So hopefully, I think Dixie is breaking out. I think I marked it somewhere here. Dixie's breaking out, so then we see more movement with these pairs because obviously USD liquidity matters significantly. So moving on to EJ, I expect, you see, because we're at the highest point we've been in a while, I'm not rushing in to take any trades on this pair. I'd rather stay away, if anything, to be honest with you. So I'm actually going to move this here because I'd rather not take anything and rather look at a more fluid market. But same with Euro USD. I think I mentioned this last week. You can go back and check. I marked this arrow out a few last week, and I said we'd push below the zone, which we did. We were breaking above, but overall we are bearish. So we could get a play into this zone, break below it, and take the sell, or we could come back, retest this area, and then take the sell. We'll see how price plays out. GBP Chef. Currently, I actually like this a lot because let me break this down for you. Because weekly is obviously bearish, right? Pushing above. We're bearish because we haven't broken above this high. So obviously weekly is bearish, okay? Daily. Now, what do you think the daily is? I'll tell you what I think it is. I think the daily is bearish. Let me tell you why. We have this structure point here, created this push up. Although this, I would not count this as a pullback, this little doji candle. So technically we did have this huge run up, but we didn't close above here. So therefore we're still bearish. So we're still looking for sells, and I would have loved the sell up here and then taking it down. So we got a move down there, creating a higher low internally, and then I would expect it to come here and then take it lower. So I do like this. So I'm actually going to move this up to here and keep an eye on it. And then potentially we could see something there. Then AUD CAD. Same thing, we're just going to wait for the break below this zone. I really like this zone. Tapped once, tapped twice, 3 times, 4 times. So yeah, nice clean zone. Would like a break and retest of this zone. Very simple. It's so simple. Like, I try and really simplify it to myself because there's 3 main things. It's like, okay, cool. Do we have the trend? What's the trend? Well, obviously we're bearish here. Okay, so we're looking for sales. Okay, cool. So now, is there an area of interest we can look at? Yes, well, it's here. Okay, cool. At that area of interest, do we get a break and retest? Well, we're waiting for the break and retest. And then can we get a nice entry? Okay, if you get a nice entry, we take it. It's very simple. It's very simple. Because I think the more you overcomplicate it, the less consistent you can be. Because anyone can take a good trade and pass a prop firm challenge, right? But then it takes, and this is where most people lose, it takes consistency and discipline and creating a plan to take the same trade over and over again. And all of these are pretty much the same trades, break and retest, because that's what I feel works well, and that's what, like, you know, obviously Set and Forget Alex G teaches, is just break and retest with the trend. And if you can just buy or sell with the trend, you'll make money. And overall, we are here for long term to make money, so that's what I'm going to do. And you can see markets have been moving for years and years. Obviously, we do have to adapt with the market, but, like, you know, we have this since 2003, where markets are just trending, and you just follow the trend. You just simply follow the trend, and you take what it gives you, get a nice entry confirmation, and you take it. Very simple. Very, very simple. So this is USD CAD. I think this was a sell I took last week, I believe, on the 23rd of Jan, or the week before, something like that. Yeah, the week before. It took a while, but I got out here. Nice 4 risk reward, rejecting. So we did reject this area, huge engulfing. So we could either push above, we could see something like this, where we get this, push above, or simply we wait for price to come back down here, look at this, and take it. For me, this sounds extremely simple, but maybe where most people go wrong, and I need to train myself, is to not take anything within this range. Oops. Within this whole range here, because I don't see any clean structure created. So once we do break above or break below, I will be interested, but for now, to be honest with you, I'm not really interested. So USD CAD can get moved to here. And then AJ, like I said, very similar to EJ, waiting for a break above here. I don't really like this. We did get a nice rejection here, so I would expect price to keep pushing up. Euro AUD, same thing. I like this. I like the zone a lot. Break above, take it. Euro Chef, I picked the sell here. Really nice sell. It looks something like this. It hit a 1 to 5. So stop was a bit less. I got a really good entry somewhere here. Beautiful trade. Textbook. If you can go back on my YouTube, I think it's the last video I uploaded. Go watch that. Textbook trade. Went with the trend. Beautiful rejection on the daily. Beautiful rejection on the H4. Structure change. I mean, it doesn't get any cleaner than this. Look, we get this nice leg up. Was waiting. Boom, we get a break below. Create a lower higher to take it, and I bet on the H1 it's cleaner. Probably a head and shoulders as well. To be honest with you, I don't really use head and shoulders a lot because I just follow market structure. But obviously, head and shoulders is market structure, so I unintentionally may use it. But look at this. I really like this. So we were creating higher high, higher low, higher high. Okay, we didn't create a higher high. We were internal, so we were within the structure points. Once we broke below, we were bearish. So now you wait for a higher low to be created somewhere here in this zone, and then you take it from here, and you take it down. So you take it. You get a nice entry signal here. I like this bullish engulfing. Oops, that's a long position. You take some nice entry signal here, bullish engulfing, and you can place a stop here. That's quite an aggressive entry. Or simply, you could have waited for the break below this structure point. So you could have waited until this got broken. So here. So when this got broken, let me tidy this up to make it cleaner. Because this would be a higher probability chance of price falling if we break below this zone. So boom, if we go back in time, like I said, I marked this out on my other video. So boom, we get a nice engulfing there, stop above. It's more of a conservative approach, but still, we went immediately into drawdown there. And then just created higher lows, and then just dropped. So I really like this trade. Really, really liked it. And still, you would have hit, still would have hit 1 to 4, pretty much. You know, so really nice trade. Textbook. USD CHF again was in this last week, so marked out a lot of trades. I think I took this the week before, but held it through and then got out for NFP because I don't like how NFP could have just basically just ruined the last few days. So I think I got out somewhere here. But I'm at the structure point, a lot of wick rejections, and it looks pretty good to me. So here 1 to 3.6. What we can expect for USD CHF, again, either a pullback into this zone, wait for a shift of structure to take it, or simply, if we break above here, again, wait for a shift of structure to take it. Two scenarios, one of them is going to happen over time. Might consolidate, it might accumulate, but something's going to happen and it's going to be one of those scenarios. It's very simple. Same thing here. NU, I'm expecting a nice rejection here, take it up. So might actually, depending on the trend, let's go through. So I'm not sure if I'm correct on this because I haven't watched this in a while. So let's go through it together. So following the weekly trend, lower low, break above, so still bearish, but then we broke above, so now bullish, break above, bullish. However, we broke this pullback here, we closed below. So we closed below, so actually weekly I would say we're bearish. Even though this isn't the prettiest pullback, I don't like how current price is moving. So daily, what can we see? Daily is lower high, bearish, creative. Yeah, daily is bearish. H4 is bearish. Yeah, so I would not be interested in taking a buy, to be honest. I'd rather stay away. We could see this. However, what we could also see is this. So we could see that. Possibly we will. But what would be higher probability is to see this. Break below here. So it breaks, consolidates, and we take the sell. When we take the sell on H4, we look to take it at this area of interest here. Stop would be right at these wicks and bodies, and then we look to take profit at this nice, beautiful H4 demand. Beautiful, beautiful H4 demand. Or this void, this massive gap, we could take profit all the way down there. So you could hold this for a 1 to 2.6 or simply a 1 to 5. So I like this. Maybe for next week or the week after, could see something like that. If we do break below this, and if not, then we'd not be interested because you just push it back up. Euro GBP had this sell not from last week but the week before. Really nice sell. Textbook again. Euro GBP really follows structure, you know. Really follows structure. I wouldn't think it, but it's very slow. But man, it really respects structure really well. So I had this for a nice 1 to 2.9. So what we can currently see on this pair is a break below here because we overall are bearish. Or we could have a pullback into here, create a lower high, because we could, if the daily does not close above this zone, then we're still bearish, in my opinion. And if it does, then we could be looking for a buy. If it pushes back up into this zone, rejects it, then we could again be looking for sells here. And then if it rejects it and pulls back here and breaks it, then we could be looking for sells here. GU, do not like this consolidation at all. Don't like it at all. Don't want to take anything in that. NZD CHF, same thing. Do not like these consolidation points. Stay away. NJ, same thing. Don't like it. NJ, EJ, and I think AJ, do not like the way they're moving, to be honest with you. But oil, I think I might just leave this here. I like to have this on the side just to check if Bitcoin, Ethereum, DXY respects market structure. And like I said, oh, here we go. I hadn't even seen this. So boom, look at this, right? So on the 16th of Jan, we closed here. So we had nice bullish engulfing at this area on the Dixie. So basically the Dixie is a USD. We then accumulated in here for what's this, the 17th, and then Friday. Yes, around 14-15 days. We've closed above, which is what I was waiting for. And so now we can see the USD moving, because for the last 2 weeks, it was not moving at all. And I was not interested in taking any USD based pairs. I mean, I did take USD CHF, but like I said, GU was just the same thing. I did not like this. So we could see with USD as a breakout. And then obviously if this breaks out, then we see more movement on GU, more movement on EU, and generally more movement across other currency pairs, because if the dollar's moving, then every single other currency pair is going to follow trend. And they're going to move as well. Because if there's no volume in the US dollar, then no other currency pair is really going to move that much. Even in like pairs such as NZD CHF, even though the dollar is not included in the pair, it affects it very, very much. So I like this closure above. This is very promising going into this week. So yeah, if you got value out of this, then join the journey. To be honest with you, hopefully this gave you a nice insight on what I can expect this week, and I will be uploading summary videos on the trades I've taken this week. So GBP AUD, a more in-depth look at why I took this trade, and as well as CAD CHF and EuroCAD, and I'll keep people updated. I'll put my Telegram link in the description to see how, so you can keep updated. Let's check. In fact, just before I sign off, let us check CAD CHF on some other brokers to see if price is open. I'm intrigued to see what's happening. Okay. Very, very different price action we've got. Very different. So on these two pairs, what broker is this? Saxo and on Pepperstone, price pretty much opened and fell 21 pips. But then on Awanda, it's a pretty clean movement, just pulling back, to be honest with you. So yeah, we'll wait for tomorrow's open, and we'll see what price does. Simple. So yeah, hopefully you got value out of this. Very simple break and retest with the trend we're looking for. Very simple. So yeah, let's have a profitable week.